It's because black people, y'all cry too much. Y'all complain too much.
We're victims.
You're victims. Here's the thing. That crying, that complaining, that victim is what caused black people to fight. Because black people have noticed the inequality, systemic inequalities. The civil rights movement is literally what happened because black people were tired.
Tired.
If it weren't for black people fighting and a lot of times put in prison for fighting and getting murked, a lot of minorities in this country wouldn't have the systemic opportunities that we do today. The irony that I see when I see Mexicans or Mexican Americans tell black people that y'all cry too much, y'all complain, y'all just victims, but it is that crying and that complaining what caused y'all to fight for all of us. For all of us. Literally, we Mexican, and I speak for myself, we're so prideful that we choose to be quiet a lot of times as we're being systemically mistreated and we face systemic inequalities. And due to that is why we as Mexican people are so behind. It's so behind and get mistreated so much in this country. We get mistreated so much in this country because we don't complain. We don't cry. Because we are just bullied around, being pushed around by everybody, as opposed to black people who said, nah, we're going to fight. We're going to fight. And that sacrifice has enabled all minorities. All minorities. Not just Mexicans, Asians, Indians, everybody in this country benefits from the civil rights movements. My personal opinion in regards to black people always complaining, black people always crying, we need to fight. And we need to stop identifying that as crying and complaining and really call it, we're tired. We're tired of systemic inequality, systemic oppression. And we are going to finally stand up and change things. That is what a lot of Mexican people can't see. Is that we call that crying, but the reality is that the reason why we are in the conditions that we are is because we don't cry enough. The thing is that we do cry, but we do so silently. I remember this black person said, you know what we need is equality. And I used to think that was a solution. But when I really started thinking is, what would equality give when white people, European descendants, have already had a 400 or 500 year head start? They already had a 400-year head start to own everything. If we're playing Monopoly, they already own the whole board. So our equality is being free to land on white people's spots all the time and pay them rent. So equality is not the solution. The solution is equity. Is, you know what? You know that unpopular word, reparations? Yes. You need that. Yeah. Yeah. And not only black people need reparations, and in my opinion are due reparations. When people complain, so you mean to tell me that you enslaved people for 300 years and then you cut them loose and say, okay, no more guys, let's play fair. Let's play fair now that you own everything? While these people were enslaved and building everything free for you, you were owning everything. So at what part is it a fair game? When you spent the last 300-400 years stealing all the resources and land, you own all. In the game of Monopoly, you first made sure to buy all the pieces, and then after you bought everything, then you told the other players, okay, now let's play fair. Now you could go, y'all could go ahead and throw the dice now. See where you land. Well, you're gonna land in their spots, and you're gonna pay them. So it's not a fair game, and that is why the idea or the concept of reparations, as unpopular of a word that it is necessary for a people who are missing 300 years of progress. Meanwhile, the opposition has 300 years or so head start. The efforts of the Caucasian was to demonize the black man. Right? And once they did so, they counted on that so that the whole world sees the black man with their racist eyes. And once they did that, it worked. However, black people somehow, some way, managed to be creative and become popular. There is no systematic effort that helped them become this, to make this happen. They somehow, some way became the popular people, the cool people, and everything they touch, everything black people touch, becomes popular. It doesn't matter if it's a Asian brand, a white brand, whatever. They touch it, they wear it, they make it cool. Now, my issue with that is, if there were a message to give to black people, is stop making popular non-black brands. Black people, y'all have this great ability to wear everything and you popularize it. You make it trend. The problem is that y'all are wearing white brands and making them rich. Nah. Start wearing your own brands. In so-called black neighborhoods, all the Indians own the liquor stores. All the Indians own the hair stores, the hair product stores. What do black people own in black neighborhoods?
Right.
Maybe a hair salon, maybe a barber shop. These white companies grab the most ignorant individuals and they throw money at them and said, here, promote our brand. Of course they're going to take it. You're grabbing a kid from the hood who knows no better, who's just looking out for himself and his family. Why wouldn't he take that money to promote this white brand? Right? A good example. I've seen Dr. Dre sell his Beats brand. $2-3 billion. That's a lot of money. $3 billion. Here's the issue with that. The reason, and this is my personal opinion, the reason why Apple bought that from him was because this particular brand is extremely successful. The most popular set of headphones on the planet. All the basketball players were wearing them. All the athletes. Everybody wears them. Right? So, the sad part is that this brand, Beats by Dre, would be able to generate billions and billions and billions in time. And Apple knew this. So, let's take this blueprint away from this black man and own it. Because for one, a black man doesn't need this much power. Two, it's very lucrative to spend $3 billion on something that's gonna go on for generation after generation. So for one, you're purchasing an item that is gonna bring you more than you spent by far in due time. But two, which in my opinion the most important, is let's take away this power from this man. It's too much power for you as a black man to own the most popular brand on the planet in regards to headset. I say that to say this. A lot of white brands, a lot of white companies, they're buying a lot of intellectual property from black artists, black celebrities, buying their music rights, everything right now. And the reason why is because if you pay a rapper who's very popular and his music is going to be forever, it has stood the test of time, you pay them $200 million, you own that. And you're going to pass this intellectual property to your children's children. Those $200 million to pay one time to this person is so worth it. Unfortunately, we're just not educated enough to see that they are buying our blueprint that's going to make money forever. Forever. History has proven that every time we own something powerful, they consider it a threat.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you as black people form some sort of solidarity, that's a threat to them.
So there's been a lot of talk now that, crazy that you said that, all of us coming together shouldn't be something we announce publicly.
Mm-hmm.